Hello everybody, my name is Mato. Five Nights at Freddy's 2, the movie, fucking sucks, and I'm here to tell you why it's the best movie ever made. So exactly one day ago, as of recording this, I watched the FNaF 2 movie. Now I watched the FNaF 1 movie when it came out, but instead of watching it in the theater, I watched it with my friends over on Discord. But for this movie, I already decided that I'm going to watch it in the theater. So what's the movie like? What's the Five Nights at Freddy's movie like? The great movie, the second part in the great installment of FNaF, or how we say it in Slovenia, Pet noči pred Frednjo. In this video I'm going to have basically the spoiler review and the non-spoiler review. So if you don't want any spoilers, they're going to be towards the end. Right now it's the non-spoiler review of the movie, not the video. You're watching a video, you're not watching a movie. So what's the movie like? Well, I would say that it's at the same time a downgrade and an upgrade from the previous movie. If you're going to watch this movie, don't expect like a horror movie made after a game. You need to expect a movie made for fans of FNaF. Like a lot of people have said in the past, this movie is made for the fans instead of the, movie critics or casual moviegoers. A lot of the horror is a weird part in the movie. There are a few jump scares that actually got me, especially if X character. I don't know if that counts as spoilers, I haven't watched a single trailer. But there are a few moments that actually got me with the horror, and then there are a few moments that didn't really get me with the horror. For some of it was a bit cheesy. For example, you have a moment where, two characters, Abby and Mike, they're like talking, and Abby goes, "That's cheesy." And you're like, the movie's self-aware. They know it's a cheesy movie. That's very funny. But then the rest of the movie is kind of cheesy. Like, especially the stuff with Vanessa. There's a sequence in the movie, and it's a bit cheesy, and for some reason it made me think of The Shining. Like The Shining, not the movie The Shining, but The Shining that Dick Halloran has, in the Welcome to Derry TV show. And for a second I thought they were going to introduce something, but they didn't. And I know this sounds weird for the people who haven't watched the movie, but I promise you this is a weird sequence. But the last few things I want to say about this movie. Last few things are, it's a okay movie, it's fun, it's, like I said in the beginning, it's the worst movie made this year, but it's my favorite of half the movies I watched in my life, and I don't watch a lot of movies. Let's get to the spoiler talk so I can get, to the meat of the video, right, to the complaints and the good stuff. So for the spoiler talk, I'm gonna say it again, this movie is weird, and I'm repeating myself because there's not a lot to talk about this movie, because the movie is only an hour and 49 minutes long, which is way too short for a FNaF movie. So in my opinion, the movie should be longer, especially with the fast stuff, and the fact that we got Henry, and the fact that, there's William supposed to be in the movie. Like a few extra scenes between Henry and William in the past would be great. A few extra scenes with Michael, as in Michael Afton, would be great. Instead of him appearing, getting those horror guys killed, and then fucking off. Actually, this is going to be a complainment session because there are a lot of mistakes in this movie. And let me tell you about the mistakes of this movie. Oh boy. There's another problem with the weird animatronics, the usage of, withered Freddy's it's shit. You get Bonnie for a whole of 5 seconds before Mike closes the door on him. Not the door, the vent. This room has no doors. That's a shitty design. You get Chica and, Freddy, withered ones, quite a lot. And you get a bit of Foxy. That's it, they just show up, the aura farm for those 5 minutes of the movie, and then they get shut off because Mike clicked the button. And you get a lot more of Chica. I'm not a big fan of Chica, she's like my least favorite out of all the characters, she's a bit boring. You don't get a lot of puppet, or I guess you could call her marionette. I call her puppet always. But you don't get a lot of her, which is another unfortunate thing, because this movie is heavily focused on Charlie and... not Charlie. What's her name again? This movie is heavily focused on Charlotte and the puppet. And this is another weird thing about this movie, which is sort of a complaint, and at the same time, something that I like about the movie. And they made Charlotte into a fully blown, like, villain. In the games, Charlotte isn't exactly nice, but she still helps people quite a lot. You know, she helps the kids. She's a bit nice. In this movie, she goes after the parents and she wants to kill every single one of them, which is an interesting choice made by Scott, I believe. He probably made that choice because he's the writer. Now, this complaint, you know, that Charlotte, the puppet, the marionette, the muppet, is suddenly evil would probably strike as bad thing. I actually like her in this movie. Like, she's very fucking creepy, man. In this movie, they gave her an ability to possess people, which is pretty cool, because she doesn't have that in the game. And she's not a bad character in the movie. I actually like her. The scene where she possesses Abby, that's a good fucking scene. I hope we get to see more of that stuff in the FNaF 4 with the, you know, nightmare animatronics. That's a good thing. Another thing I liked about this movie is the goddamn props, because the props are incredible. Like, the robots are made really well. The toy animatronics, you know, they look toyish. Okay, I need to think what else I like about this movie, because there's, like I've said, it's a shit movie, but it's good. And it's hard to, you know, say what you like about this movie. I do like how much... there is a lot of fan service is the word. Yeah. There's a lot of fan service in the movie, obviously, with getting, you know, we get Henry Emily, the guy from FNaF, we get him. We get Michael Afton, who I'll talk about later. We also get a bit, oh man, we get the post-credit scene. I need to talk about the post-credit scene, because that's my favorite scene when they reveal Springtrap, right? I love that. I knew they were going to reveal Springtrap. I was so hyped the moment they revealed. He's my favorite, okay?
You guys, wait up!
No! Look, your favorites can be like Marionette, your favorites can be Mangle, your favorites can be, I don't know, any character from like the Fazbear Frights, like that dog Fetch, or whatever the hell he is. You can like them. I like Springtrap. He's my favorite. He's a sweetheart, you know. He's a sweetie. He's a nice guy. Nice guy. I completely forgot about Mangle, actually. Now that I mentioned Mangle, I forgot she's in the movie, because all that Mangle does is shows up on Vanessa's car, and he ruins the car, and then Vanessa hits the brake and sends Mangle flying out the window towards Toy Freddy. That was funny. I was expecting a lot more Toy Bonnie talking, because they relied heavily on MatPat voicing him, which is a weird thing how they did the whole, you know, marketing for the movie. They relied heavily on Matthew and the guy that plays Henry. I forgot his name. I think his last name is Ulrich, if I'm not mistaken. They relied heavily on that, and like Matthew Patrick, you know, MatPat, they relied heavily on that for quite some marketing. And I was a bit surprised when Toy Bonnie got 3 lines. And that's another complaint I have about the movie, which is it's way too short for a FNaF movie. I would be happy with 40 minutes extra for the movie. That would be great. We could get a lot more scenes with Michael Afton and probably Charlotte. We could get a lot more scenes spent in the pizzeria, because we don't get a lot of time spent there. We need to get a lot more shit with, you know, waiters, because they were so underutilized. Oh my god, man. Because, again, 40 minutes extra, that would be great. All of the scenes that are in the movie, it sort of feels like a synopsis, right? Scott made a synopsis, and then he just said, okay, let's do that. And that's what they did. They did a synopsis. They didn't do a full-on movie, you know, the script. They just did, okay, wrap the whole thing together. Which is really unfortunate in my opinion, because a longer movie would be better. A A lot of people agree on that. So if you know anything about FNaF, you know a lot about Michael Afton. Michael is, William's son. He goes from the facility, not facility. Why facility? I play too much Secret Laboratory, I need to relax. He goes from pizzeria to pizzeria, undoes his father's work, he undoes it, and then burns alive. And in this movie, he makes a noble sacrifice, but in this movie, he's evil. He releases Charlotte. He helps to release Charlotte. Then he wants to kill the entire town. I don't know. It's a weird thing, it's a weird thing to talk about Michael, because you have max, like, for you have like 10 scenes with Michael, you get at the beginning, not really scenes, you get like 2 moments with him at the beginning with the ghost hunters in the pizzeria, and then the end, and that's it. You don't get the rest of Michael Afton, which is really weird because he's Michael Afton. He's the main character. You're him for like half of the games. And he's just sort of evil in this movie. There are some cool theories I saw on the internet which explain that probably Michael was scooped by Ennard already. The sister's location happened, now he's Ennard, half Ennard, whatever. And he's being controlled by Ennard. And then in the later movies he's gonna get out and fucking, I'm good now, I'm purple. Or some shit like that. I don't know, man. Okay, so full on opinions on the movie. Like I said, like 3 times earlier, it's a shit movie. Jesus Christ, it's my favorite. Okay, it's so fun, it's goofy, it's funny. Corey X Kenshi appears again. I would love other YouTubers to appear in the movie. Mark. Oh my god, the ending, like the music, the credits music. This time it was the music by Living Tombstone again. It's been so long since last I seen my son as to this monster. Man behind the slaughter. I think that's it. That's great, we get that music again. When the music actually hit, I did a purple guy dance. It was funny. It's funny, the theater I was in, there were like probably 30 people max. Maybe even less in the theater. And when the movie ended, we all just stood up and started clapping. It was so funny. Oh my god, that was great. So yeah, the full-on opinion, it's a 10 out of 10. Shit movie. I'll be there day 1 for FNaF 3. Thank you all, everybody. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you specifically. The day... Fuck me, I do not know how to do a goddamn intro. Or outro. That's an fuck, Mato. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I have no idea how to do the outros. Neither do I know how to do the intros. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye. I can't wait for FNaF 3. Man, that's gonna be great. We're gonna get Springtrap. The moment there's Springtrap, I'm gonna be great. I'm gonna be so happy.